to today's episode of Tiffany Unpacks in Oregon. On today's episode, we're gonna be opening games number 17. Oh my god. Yeah, so I think that was just over the sheer number of boxes that I had. Anyway, let's do this. I like this. It's like Christmas every time I open one of these because it's just like board games. Yeah. Okay, so this is a good mix of games between Steve and I. So I'm sorry I'm not able to tell you about Steve's games, but right off the top, we have Steel Team, which is okay, no, this isn't Steel Team. Alright, so Steel Team is a PC game that Steve has used to put something else in. It's a model. Oh, it's a helicopter. It's a tank? I don't know what's happening. There's instructions for a tank and a helicopter. And there's some paint. Oh, do you think he'd mind if he came home and his model was built? Alright, so not a board game, but still awesome and fun. Then we have Stuff and Nonsense, which, so there's a song, a music video, I'm just gonna link to it right now because it's awesome. It's called it's starring Professor Elemental, which is a British dude who does raps, and it's super awesome. And Cheap Ass Games, James Ernest teamed up with him and designed a card game about Professor Elemental called Stuff and Nonsense. It's 2 to 6 players, it's 40 minutes, and I immediately had to back this on Kickstarter because I love Professor Elemental. I actually haven't played this game yet, but I'm really excited to because I like James Ernest and I really like Professor Elemental. So there you go. Next up, we have a giant white meeple. He's got a deformed head, but so I had a friend, I used to do a board game group at work, and I had a friend there who liked to play with work with wood when he wasn't at work. And he just randomly jigsawed a meeple one day and then brought it in and gave it to me. So I have this nice white meeple that I always talk about I'm gonna paint, but I don't know, I just like that he's white. So there you go. Oh, this is so funny. So this is the preview copy of Christopher something's Lanterns. Hang on. So really funny, I backed this on Kickstarter and I talked about it in a video, a preview video, and I tweeted a lot about lanterns. Steve and I really liked it so much that we backed it so we would get our own copy. This is actually the first package we've received at our house, and we received it the day after we moved in. So we showed up here Sunday night around midnight, and Monday morning we had this package waiting for us outside our front door. So this was a nice surprise. It's by Christopher Chung, designed by Christopher Chung, published by Foxtrot Games. We really like lanterns. It's 2 to 4 players. We actually played it last night. It's a really fun like set collection game, tile placement. It's just really beautiful. It's well designed. Yeah, so I guess I have 2 copies now. I guess I need to find a new home for this one. If you are a board game reviewer and you are watching this video and you have not played Lanterns and you would like to try it out before deciding if you want to invest for a full copy and also buying it, go ahead and let me know. Shoot me an email at TheOneTAR@gmail.com, and the first reviewer to do so I will send you this copy of Lanterns because it is super great and you should play it if you haven't played it. Right, next up. Lunar Rails! So this is a crown train game where you are building train lines to pick up and deliver in or on the moon. So I love train games, and I really like Crown. I say it wrong, leave me alone. train games. And Steve and I were in Colorado in March, and we saw this copy after listening to a Couch to Con episode where Brian talks about Lunar Rails, and then we were just like, well, we have to get it. So yeah, Crayon train games take a long time to play. They're for, how many players does this guy go? 2 to 6 players, 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, 3 to 4 hours. We have a friend in the Bay Area who really loves these, so we're gonna try and figure out a way to play with him online remotely, because that would be the best thing ever. So there you go. We might also just do a train weekend game night. I think that would be a lot of fun. Then we have Rise of Augustus. Rise of Augustus is designed by Paulo Mori and Vincent, the art is by Vincent Durant. Rise of Augustus is Roman Bingo. I actually shot a review with this with Ed Braff on my channel. Go ahead and click the box or link down the doobly-doo if you want to learn more. It is a great game, 2 to 6 players. You can play it in 30 minutes. It's Roman Bingo. It's a lot of fun. Next up, we have Las Vegas. This is designed by Rudiger Dorn. It's a dice game where you are trying to roll your dice to put them on casinos and then have the most dice on that casino at the end of the round to collect money, and then at the end of 4 rounds, whoever has the most money wins. It's a game for 2 to 5 players, and there's a ghost player. I don't normally like ghost players, but for 2 or 3 player games, you play with a ghost player. Actually, and with 4 player games, you play with a ghost player where you split up the ghost player's dice and like everybody's rolling them and placing them. And I actually really like the mechanic. It's very interesting. So I really like Las Vegas. If you have a chance, pick it up. I am working on a review. I actually went to Las Vegas for the sole reason of reviewing this game, and I hate Las Vegas because I don't like gambling, which is a sign that I like, yeah, because I went to Vegas. We went to Vegas for like straight up 3 hours, and then we left. So there you go. The review will be incoming as soon as I have time to sit and review it. So next up we have Carcassonne the Castle. This is by, I'm not actually sure who, this is by Rainier Knizia, this specific version of Carcassonne. It's for exactly 2 players. Steve and I picked this up specifically for our 2-player gaming channel, and because we're always looking for good 2-player games. It was also used at the game store we were at. So it's Carcassonne rules, basically a little bit different, but you're building inside of a castle, so there's actual castle walls and they restrict the size of where you can go. It gets a lot more interesting as far as placement in later rounds. I really like it. We'll see if I do a review or if it's just mentioned on the 2-player thing. We also, on that trip, we got Saint Malo. So Saint Malo is a game by Inca and Marcus Brand, who did another game that we have that we really like. And I know I pulled it out already and talked about it, and I can't remember who it was by. Ah! Alright, well, anyway, Saint Malo, you're rolling dice on your turn, and you're trying to make sets, and then you make decisions to build your own city. And the really cool thing is the mats are like dry erase, and you have markers, and so when you decide what you're gonna do, you build and draw in your actual city. It's like a draw, push your luck, not really push your luck, but it's a rolling the dice, making sets, drawing kind of thing that works for 2 to 5 players, takes about an hour. And yeah, if you like those kind of games where you roll and then you like save dice and then you roll again to try and get sets and then do strategic decisions based on your dice rolls, this is a good game for that, because while King of Tokyo is kind of sort of one of those games, this one, it's a very Euro feel for a not typical Euro game. So yeah, there you go. Then we also have Dutch Blitz, which is for 2 to 4 players. I actually don't know anything about this game. I had a friend, I still have a friend. I hope, Kylie, you're still my friend. But I have a friend that played this at a party or something, and she said it was just amazing, and so she insisted I got it and that we would play it, and so I got it, and we haven't played it. And it's been been quite a while. But I hope to eventually play this, and if I don't play it soon, it will find a new home. But there you go. Next up, we have Farmageddon. This is by my friend Grant Roderick. Grant has a corgi named Peaches, and if you're not following him on Twitter, you should, because he's awesome. His Twitter handle is Hyperbole, I think. It's right there. Yeah, check him out. He has a board game design blog where he blogs a lot about just various things that he comes across in his designs and thought processes and stuff like that. He has a lot of games currently either signed or in progress, so he's interesting. But this is his like family-friendly farming game. You're planting stuff, and then you're trying to get the biggest planted crops like grown up, and then like your opponents, you can play cards to spite each other and all other stuff. It's like a fun little party game. Not party game, but filler game. Funish little filler game. So then we have Get Lucky, the Kill Dr. Lucky card game, designed by James Ernest, Cheap Ass Games. I kickstarted this because I liked the look of it, and I haven't had the time to play Kill Dr. Lucky, and this like seemed like a nice substitute, and I just haven't even played it yet. Steve and I both have a copy of this game. It's not even open. Steve and I both have a copy of this game, so one of them will probably end up as a giveaway at some point, if not both of them if we don't enjoy it. But let's see, it's 2 to 6 players, 20 minutes, so we could probably definitely get this to the table sooner rather than later. Oh, yes! Legacy. The Testament of Deutocracy by Michael Hendricks, not sure, published by Portal Games. Legacy is you are trying to build the genealogy of your family. So you have a family and you're breeding them. You're breeding your pedigree, like your family. Is it pedigree, genealogy? I'm not really sure. But basically you're trying to make the most the richest player? Yeah, I guess. You're trying to make the richest family. You're trying to secure the like fate of your legacy, and it's really great. It's a card game, it grows. The table growth on this is really intense, and there's really some interesting decisions. I've only played it a few times, but I really like it. It's 1 to 4 players. I'm really excited to play the solo game, but really interesting when you first open it up, right on top, they have this piece of paper that looks like it's handwritten. I would not be surprised if they paid somebody to actually handwrite this, because the D's, the like cursive D's, the swoops on the D's are not consistent enough to be, I don't think they're printed. They're not consistent enough for it to be a font. I think he paid somebody to calligraphy this out, which is freaking awesome. There's also a typo in it. But yeah, he has this note, and it's double-sided, written by the Duc de Crécy, warning him against like being himself and being true to himself, and like letting his kids do whatever they want for love and whatever, because it left his family not in ruins, but like basically his family was not super amazing. So the whole game is about breeding your family and your, like your kids and your grandkids and all this other stuff to ensure that your legacy lives on and is noble. So that's a fun game. I really like that. I don't think Steve's played it with me yet because he was out of town. So yeah, oh, and then there's just a basket in here that has dog and cat hair, because it's not something from our house if it doesn't have dog and cat hair. That's it for this episode of Tiffany Unpacks and Organ. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope to see you again. Well, not me literally see you, but I hope you come back and join us for tomorrow's episode. We are getting closer. I think there's only like 6 boxes left. We are getting closer to the end. I can see the kitchen window out now, and not only can I see it, I can like see out of it. So that's progress. If there was ever a sign of progress. So here we go. Hopefully the last episode of this will just be Actually, I think I'll do that. The last episode of this, I think, will just be like a tour of the board game collection wall when it's all done and put away nicely. So yeah, anyway, I will see you tomorrow.